is our $90 Vanity. I had a ton of fun making this, but there's really only one thing left to do. Doesn't that look nice? Ashlyn and I had our heart set on an open shelf farmhouse vanity with a vessel sink. Everything we were finding online or at Lowe's was gonna cost us at least $500 to $1,000, and I knew that I could build this for way cheaper. Today I'm gonna walk you through how we built our farmhouse vanity for only $90. I've got a new roundover bit that I've been using a lot on my router here. I really like that look. It just rounds off the edge. So on these 4x4 posts, I'm gonna actually round off the edge so that way it's not so sharp and splintery. For the frame of this vanity build, I have 4 4x4 posts, which are gonna go all in the corners. Those are cut at 34 inches. I've got 2 2x4s, which are cut at 40 inches, 2 2x4s, which are cut at 16.5 inches, 4 1x4s, which was a 2x4 I just ripped into a 1x, that are cut at 40 inches, and then 4 2x4s that were cut down into 1xs at 16.5 inches. We're still gonna rip down some 2x4s to make some 1x4. That's gonna act as our shelving. These 40-inch 2x4s, these are gonna go on the top, and this is gonna be the support for the wood top that goes on there. You know, sometimes you'll have a built-in sink. We're gonna be doing a vessel sink, so we're gonna actually have a wood platform on top. But to connect these 2x4s to the 4x4s, I'm gonna be using a Craig jig. This is pocket hole jig. I love using this. This is a really great way to connect up and hide your screws. Makes a really nice finishing touch. This is our actual jig, and you can see that you can set that to 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1.5 inches, depending on your thickness of your wood. Drill bit. There's your pocket holes. Now I've got to do the exact same thing with my 1xs. The nice thing about this Craig jig is it actually has a spacer. So this is going to be for your 2x4s, and you can remove this spacer just like that. And then you can connect these two up together to make it a tighter fit. So that way it fits onto your 1x. Next, I'm going to take my 40-inch pieces of 2x4. I'm going to connect these up on the sides here. It's going to end up looking something like that. And to screw those in, we're gonna be using Craig's pocket hole screws, 2.5 inch screws. So now I'm gonna attach this 2x4 to this 4x4. These pocket holes, if you just screwed this in without any support, it can probably bounce around a little bit. I have actually clamped this thing down, so I put a clamp on the bottom with a piece of wood so that way it's level right up here with the top. And then I got another clamp that's clamping the piece of wood to this piece of wood so that way it doesn't move around very much. And that way I'll know it's in the right spot. Now we've got that first side on the top connected. I'm gonna go ahead and connect this other side on the top. Next, we just need to get these 16.5 inch pieces to connect these two up. Now that I've got my frame put together, we're gonna have 2 shelves. We're gonna have a shelf right about there, about 10 inches down, and then one right at the very bottom. And then we're gonna have 1x4 sitting on top of that. Now that we got the basic frame of this vanity all built, we gotta cut our 2x4s to length and then rip those down into 1x4s, and then we'll brad nail those in place on each shelf. These are what we're going to be using as the base to our shelf here. Usually when I need 1x4s, I just go ahead and get a 2x4 and rip it down. And in this case, I actually like the look because one end is rounded over and the other end is nice and straight. Well, because I use my rounded edge on everything, it's pretty smooth, but I'm going to still go through and sand a bunch of this down. Some of these boards still have the lettering on it, the stamping, so I'm going to sand all that off and we'll get this thing ready to start staining. I'm going to be using a Honey 272 stain. We really like this stain. This is what we use throughout our house, but really use whatever stain you want, whatever kind of finish you like. And then we'll be doing a polyurethane over the top of everything as well. I'm gonna get this top piece actually screwed into place or nailed into place, and then we'll go ahead and stain this as well. And we're doing all the same color. I'm gonna go ahead and fill these holes in so that way it's nice and smooth. So I'm gonna actually do a 3/4 inch spacer between all of these little slats. Because we're putting baskets in, it doesn't really matter, and I actually like this look a little bit more. Obviously you can do them really tight if you like, if you're gonna be putting stuff down there that you're worried about flopping around, but for us, we're just gonna be putting baskets and then we're gonna put towels on the bottom, so it doesn't matter too much. Get this thing stained up. Now that I got my top all stained and everything, it's time to seal it. But before I seal it, I'm gonna place my fixtures and figure out exactly where I want them to sit. And then that way I can drill those holes and then I'll seal afterwards. It'll sit something like that. I think this thing's gonna look great. I really like these waterfall faucets. Now that we got those drilled, we're gonna polyurethane the top and seal it up. Now that I got my top all polyurethane, it's time to get these plumbing fixtures installed. Before I set this in place, I'm actually going to install my drain assembly on it beforehand. It makes it a lot easier. Nice pop-up drain assembly. Leo had to say hi. Now we've got to get down below and hook up the drain lines. I'm going to have to drill a hole through a couple of these slats right here to hook up to the drain that's underneath. that's it, guys. I think it turned out great. This is our $90 vanity. Obviously you have the cost of the sink, the cost of the faucet and whatnot, but the vanity itself only cost me $90. So I had a ton of fun making this, but there's really only one thing left to do. Doesn't that look nice? Ashlyn's gonna be so excited when she gets home because I know she's been wanting this for a while. So now we finally have a sink upstairs, we have a toilet, we have our shower, and we finally have a bathroom. We do still have a couple things left to do, like installing our freestanding tub and faucet, and obviously all the trim work. We still need to trim the windows and the crown molding and the door trim, all that good stuff. But at least now we can use it up here, and we're supposed to have some family coming this next week, so it'll be perfect timing. As always, I had a ton of fun building this vanity. It was much cheaper than going and buying a new one from Lowe's or Home Depot. If you want to see what else we've been up to on this house or what we've been up to outside on the farm, go ahead and click this link or any one of these videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.